are the host or hostess for your upcoming Law Ed program. Well, it's not really a party, but we want our Law Ed attendees to have as much fun as if they were at a party with friends.
It is a party, Jeannie.
It is a party. We want you to make it a party. You are key to making it a party as the moderator. This is Pam Kuzner.
And this is Jeannie Heaton.
And we are going to share some of our top tips to be a great moderator. Pam, as the party hostess, aka moderator, what are some of your top tips?
Well, one of the best tips is to actually listen to what the presentation is. You should be engaged with the presenter, watch where the presenter is looking. If you see that you're being filmed and the presenter is looking off to the right endlessly because that's where their friends are, don't stay to the right. Start walking into the area where the camera is so that you have the presenter occasionally at least looking at the camera. If you see the presenter moving away from the microphone so that the sound is going in and out, try to discreetly walk up to them, grab them like this, put the microphone right by their face. It'll be entertaining, but at least you'll have really great audio.
So Pam, you would say one of your #1 tips is proper use of the microphone. Is that right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And that is because most of our programs now are being recorded for the FAST CLE archives, where hundreds and hopefully thousands of our members will be viewing your program. What is one of the #1 complaints that we are seeing on our online evaluations?
The #1 complaint is that the question and answer, the Q&A at the end of the CLE or during the CLE is unintelligible. It is really hard for the web viewer to pick up the nuances that occur when you have a room full of attorneys. And the biggest problem you have when you have a room full of attorneys is that they will always say to the moderator, "That's okay, I'm an attorney. Nobody's ever complained about me being quiet. I'm loud." That's great for in the room, but you really have to be critically aware of how it's going to sound later.
Right. So you have two options as a moderator. And the preferred option is for you to take the microphone, walk over to the audience member with the question, and put it in their face.
Right in their face. Because if you let them hold it themselves, they will do what most presenters do. They will talk like this, and then you will talk like this, and you will have occasional sound. And that means that you will have Drew very, very busy at the video session in the ISBA CRO. It's way too much work when we could take away some of that work.
Right, and some of the sound we can't even pick up if it's not recorded during the live program. So that is the preferred method. The alternative method is if you have an audience member maybe who's not cooperative or you can't get to them for some reason, is for you as a moderator to repeat the question. Even though most of the audience may have heard it, repeat the question for the camera and read it, give it to the speaker then.
Right, and if the speaker repeats the question, that's also a great tip, and some speakers are really good at understanding that the question wasn't heard by the audience, but it's critical for them not to answer the question before it's been repeated. If you pick up that they've answered a question and it was complete and nobody has any idea of what the question is, I would, even at the end of the explanation, read the question into the microphone for everybody that's viewing it online.
Great. And do you ever have to remind the speakers about the microphone?
All the time. Sometimes judges are amazing because they get so into their comments and they're into the audience and they're doing the direct eye contact with the people in the room. They absolutely completely forget that they're being filmed, and they will face the direction of whoever they're talking to. So if they're using a table mic, they're not heard at all. So the best thing you can do, because at that moment in time as the moderator, you are the highest ranking officer in the room. So you can manhandle the judge and make them listen to you and make them talk into the microphone.
Great. So if we haven't said it enough, your #1 job is the microphone. Microphones, microphones, microphones. Next, we would like you to briefly introduce your speakers. Their full biographies are in the written materials under the Papers tab online and in the book on site. So just a quick introduction to get the program going. Then we want you to remind the attendees to fill out their evaluations. And Pam, you're also a CLE coordinator. Why are the evaluations so important?
Well, the evaluations are crucial because the CLE teams of each of the subcommittees have limited ideas. And if you're sitting in a program and you have some great inspiration for a program that you'd like to see, it's probably something many people would like to see as well. So tell us so that we can cater our programs toward your needs and interests.
Great. Another thing you need to be reminded about as moderator is to collect any handouts. Occasionally, frequently, we get speakers who don't submit all of their materials ahead of time, and they bring them to the program. Well, if it's a live webcast, those viewers need the materials right away, and if it goes into the archives, those viewers also need the materials. So the moderator needs to make sure that those materials are provided to the ISBA registration desk or to Drew in electronic form. Pam, another thing that moderators need to do is keep the program on time, not ending early, not ending late. What's one way you help your speakers stay on time?
Well, I use the handy-dandy Jeannie Heaton tool. This is a great tool. It helps people understand where they are in the program and how long it's going to take. And if you happen to run meetings elsewhere, what you can do is swipe one of them from the ISBA. I find this one to be very useful at meetings.
Okay, there are some other things you can do as a moderator to prepare for the program. ISBA will send you a list of announcements that we'd like you to make, and you can review those before the program as well as review the speaker biographies and the program agenda, so you're very familiar with things. Some of the announcements pertain to getting their MCLE credit, how to tweet on their Twitter account, how to wear their name tags so they can network, things like that that attendees need to be reminded about. And Pam, what are some other things that moderators can do to make their party a great event?
Well, look at, just as you would at a party, look at the physical condition of your speaker. You want to make sure your speaker is well prepared. And if your speaker is parched or croaking into the microphone, get them the glass of water. Don't wait for them to get a glass of water. And by all means, if you see that they had spinach for lunch and part of their teeth are missing because of the spinach leaf across the tooth, pause and let them take care of it. Be a kind host.
Thank you, Pam. The other thing we're asking is that you would please come to the program an hour before just to make sure everything's set, just like you do for a real party. You want to make sure everything's ready. But I think we've covered the basics today, Pam. So now I think we're ready to celebrate. Have a great time with your next program.
Enjoy.